Hey everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here today because not only are we announcing the winner of our Dooney and Bourke bag for the 17,000 subscriber giveaway, but also I am doing a new installment of my Fantasy Disney World planning, this time planning a trip that was sent in as an idea by one of you, and I'm really excited to be here. This video is going to be a little chopped up because, and just forgive me for a minute as I insert some little real life intersecting with YouTube creator. I was originally going to film this on Friday morning. Well, I just heard from our house painters and they're going to be pressure washing the house on Friday, and I don't think that will make for ripe conditions to film. So let's go to future Jen and she is going to announce our winner. Take it away, future Jen. Thanks, past Jen. That was probably really stupid. I have like 5 minutes before the painters are going to be here. So I did do the drawing for our winner, and here's how this is going to work. I'm going to announce her name, and then next week's video, so a week from today, I will be planning this scenario, and I am so excited about it, you guys. Okay, our winner is Nicole Hermans, and Nicole said, I am a single mom with 2 boys, ages 5 and 3. For our dream trip, I would like to go to Disney and balance things I would like to do. I'm a foodie, so I want to eat great things with shows and rides that the boys would enjoy. Dream budget would be $5,000, and we would like to go in January or February when the temperatures are cooler. Oh my gosh, I can't think of anybody, especially right now, that deserves a fabulous trip to Disney more than a single mom with 2 young boys, but I'm super excited to give you all the things that I would do to plan out your perfect trip. This will be so fun for me because, as we know, I raised 3 boys, and I think that Nicole and I have kind of a lot in common on the way that we like to vacation. So I'm super pumped to get planning for her trip. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you tune in for next week. Nicole, make sure you reach out to me, respond down in the comments below, reach out to me through Instagram, whatever's easiest for you, because I need your contact information so that I can get that fabulous Dooney and Bourke bag in your hands. Okay, back to past Jen. Bye. I didn't know how else to do that. So anyway, first of all, let me just say, when I came up with the idea to have you guys submit your trip scenarios and I would plan them with kind of what I would do if I were you kind of thing, kind of a what would Jen do, if you will, it really blew my mind, the scenarios that you guys sent me. So many amazing comments. Now, some of you basically just told me your entire trip and what you would do, so I don't know why you would need me at all. But others of you really put out a scenario there. There were multiple trips that were, parties of 10 or 14. I think the largest party size was like 22 people, and just really amazing trips that I think and hope you guys actually get to take. And I am going to be focusing on one comment, and that comment was from, drum roll please, Sarah Red. And what Sarah said was that she wanted to do a couples trip with just she and her husband. They would like to stay at a moderate to deluxe resort, and they would like it to be about 4 days. Now, and they would like to splurge for a luxury meal. Sarah didn't give me a lot more information than that, but from like reading in between the lines, I'm guessing that Sarah and her husband work very hard. I'm also guessing that they have littles at home, that a trip away, just the 2 of them, is really what they need right now. And just to kind of have a good long weekend as a couple. The reason I'm making a huge assumption that they have littles is because she said they can only be away for about 4 days. And that sounds very much like a couple who has young ones who doesn't really want to be away from them much longer than that, which, by the way, I totally get. I was the same way when mine were little. So Sarah, none of that could be true about you. I'm just kind of filling in the blanks, but I'm kind of going on that assumption. And I loved that this was the comment that I picked because I actually just planned a trip very similar to this for my husband and I. And I'm not going to tell you guys when it's going to happen because I need to be vaccinated in order for it to happen. But it's kind of the same. It was really funny when I saw that was the comment that ended up coming up, because our trip is going to be very similar to what you're talking about. So let's dive into the details. And the very first thing I'm going to share is where I would have you guys stay. Now, Sarah, you said between moderate and deluxe. And so I'm going to send you to my favorite moderate that I really feel like is more like a deluxe property. And that is, you guessed it, Coronado Springs, but not just any Coronado Springs. We are going to stay in the brand new Destino Tower. Now, here's the thing about Coronado Springs. I've stayed there now 3 times. I've stayed in the regular section twice, and I've stayed in the tower once. This tower is unbelievable. In fact, when I went to go plan this trip that Scott and I may or may not take, I could have chosen a deluxe resort, and I chose Coronado Springs in the Grand Destino Tower because that really, to me, it is just the epitome of grown-up adult luxury vacation. Now, I want to talk about a little bit of a difference between staying in the tower and a deluxe resort. Of course, with Coronado Springs, you don't have the proximity to the parks that you would say at Yacht or Beach Club or Contemporary, and there's definitely benefits to that. But for the price difference in your scenario, I would rather spend the money on dining and save a few $100s and stay in Coronado Springs in the tower. Now, let's just pause right here. And let me just do a little bit of a devotion to Coronado Springs segment, if you will. This tower, now I was very fortunate to stay there not long after they opened. I actually stayed in a club level room in one of the 1-bedroom suites. But when you walk in, the grandeur of this place is almost impossible for me to put into words. And I know that some have said it doesn't feel quite as Disney to them. That is, when I'm on a couples trip, kind of what Scott and I like. Scott loves Spain. He loves Portugal. He is a huge fan of Barcelona. And so he hasn't been there with me yet, but I really do think he is going to adore it. The tile work in this place. I mean, the tile work alone will just take your breath away. The entire tie-in between Salvador Dali and Walt Disney, the cartoon that's playing, I think it's called Destino, is surreal and weird and so cool and so grown up. It just is sophisticated grown-up Disney. And now let's talk about the rooms. Now, granted, I did stay in a 1-bedroom suite, but I had stayed in the renovated rooms in the regular side of the resort. And these rooms are spectacular. The tower rooms in particular. Again, the tile work, the music they play. By the way, I have searched for it, but if anybody can find me a playlist on Spotify, or maybe somebody has it on YouTube, they play different music for the resort background than they do at other Disney resorts. And the music just is, like, I can hear it now in my head. There's just this guitar and sophisticated Latin feel to it. And the restaurants, can we talk about the restaurants? You've got Toledo, which feels very much like a signature restaurant to me. I could not believe that it was not a signature restaurant. The food is impeccable. The wine list is amazing. The views are spectacular. You've also got the Dahlia Bar, which is up there on the rooftop. And when you walk out the doors at the Dahlia Bar and you see that view out in front of you, it will absolutely take your breath away. I think I said take your breath away like 4 times. And then at night, the way that they've done the lighting and again, the music, and you just feel completely immersed in just a place that is far, far away from your daily life. And for me and Scott, if we are going away, just the two of us, far, far away from our daily life is exactly what we want. You've also got so many on site restaurants and bars and options you've got. They used to have a spa there. I went to look it up. I don't think it has reopened since COVID, but they do have an amazing workout center. They have several pools. The main pool is lovely, recently renovated. And now with the way that the resort is set up, nothing is too far from anything else. Unfortunately, I did not get the opportunity to eat or drink at the Three Bridges, which is right there in the middle of the water, but I've heard great things about that. Another reason that I love it for a couples trip is there are so many options that are right there. So if you didn't feel like going into the theme parks, if you just kind of wanted to relax and rejuvenate, it really feels to me like a self-contained spa. Now, I know some people will be like, what? You wouldn't recommend, Caribbean Beach because of the Skyliner or whatever? I'm sorry, no. If you want a more sophisticated experience with spectacular rooms, spectacular amenities, I just don't think you can go wrong with Coronado Springs. Let's talk about how I would actually structure this trip. Now, I am all about the couples trip, and because of the way that you worded it, I'm just imagining that you guys are showing up to this vacation kind of out of energy. So we're not going to kind of go. We're going to kind of be a little more on the relaxed side. My hope is that on the first day, you'd be able to arrive around midday. If your room isn't ready, maybe grab a drink at the bar, maybe go for a swim, maybe grab a margarita on the rocks poolside if you're me, and just sort of celebrate the fact that you're together and you're enjoying this beautiful space where you can hang out. Once your room is ready, I'm going to want you to go ahead and kind of freshen up, maybe unpack a little bit, and then you're going to head to Epcot for a beautiful evening where you're just not going to be on the clock. You're going to stroll, you're going to eat. If there happens to be a festival going on, you're going to go ahead and help yourself to whatever looks good there. Maybe do some counter service, maybe go to my absolute favorite place in the whole world, which is Tutto Gusto, which, Lord willing, is open when you go on this amazing trip. You're going to maybe have a charcuterie board and some wine and just enjoy the fact that you are together, you are healthy, and you are on vacation. And then the rest of your days, I'm really just gonna have you pick one park per day. This is not going to be a frantic trip. You're telling me we only have 4 days, all the more reason I don't want you to be rushing. That's not a lot of time to recharge your batteries. So let's say that you go to Magic Kingdom on your first full day. What I would like to see you do is have a breakfast reservation at the Wave and go ahead and take Lyft from Coronado Springs over to the Wave, have them drop you off right there at the Contemporary, have a beautiful breakfast, walk over at your leisure, ride what you love at Magic Kingdom. You said you really only wanted to splurge for one big meal, so we'll talk about that in a minute, but you could easily do a lovely counter service at Magic Kingdom that day, and then whenever you were ready, you could head back to your resort. And then maybe after Magic Kingdom closes, head over to the Contemporary, maybe have some champagne at the Outer Rim Lounge, which I love to do to watch the monorail go by, and then catch a lift back to Coronado Springs. And then on day 2, again, I'm hoping you can have an easy start to your day. Maybe take a lift over to Animal Kingdom, maybe rope drop Nomad Lounge, which is one of my favorite things. Do the bread service there as your lunch, which actually can be kind of an economical way to enjoy the bread service, in my opinion, although we do always tend to spend too much on wine there. But anyway, ride the rides you care to ride at Animal Kingdom. And then however late Animal Kingdom is open, this is the night that I would like for you to go to Toledo for dinner. So I want to make sure you head back to your resort with plenty of time to change into your fancy clothes and head to dinner. Definitely you're going to want to stop at the Dahlia Bar first, maybe do your appetizers there, and then move over to Toledo. Now, Toledo, I'm trying to adequately describe the experience, and it is really difficult for me because my meal there was with some dear friends. My friend Shane and his husband Bob, and my friend Coral was there, and it was one of those really memorable meals. And I think the food was phenomenal. I know the company was phenomenal, and I know the service was phenomenal, but I don't remember anything specifically I ate. I just remember it being a really lovely, warm, and friendly evening. And I mean, what can you say about a restaurant other than that? So definitely going to have you go to Toledo, going to have you stroll around the resort and I don't know, just enjoy everything that's there. Enjoy your evening, and then the next day, whatever theme park you have left. So let's say we did Epcot on our arrival day, we did Magic Kingdom, then we did Animal Kingdom. So let's go to Hollywood Studios. Maybe you want to get up really early or at least get on your phone so you can have a possibility of getting a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance. I do think, especially, I know that my husband, I'm so sad that he hasn't gotten to ride it yet, because if you are a Star Wars fan or your husband is a Star Wars fan, especially if you're kind of OG Star Wars fans, the original trilogy, I think you really have to, I mean, everybody should ride this ride, but it really is an amazing thing to do. So hopefully you'd be able to do that. And then this Hollywood Studios day, I'd love to see you have time by the pool to relax, again, to get some sun, to recharge your batteries, and then go back to Hollywood Studios if you feel like it, or not, or just enjoy more of the wonderful atmosphere at Coronado Springs before you head home. So the thing about an adults only trip, if you're me, and again, you guys remember, these are my opinions. These do not have to be your opinions. I know plenty of adults that go to Disney and they want to be riding rides from sunup to sundown. They want to do rope drop to fireworks. That for them is a fun grown-up time at Disney. That is not actually a fun grown-up time at Disney for me. I always say that I enjoy going to Disney and doing it more like a lot of people do Vegas, okay? Some people go to Vegas and the whole point for them is the gambling. I don't like gambling, but I like Vegas because I like the restaurants and the clubs and the spas and the pools. That is how I feel about Disney, y'all. I like the rides, but I really go for the resort piece of things, for the grown-up experiences, for the amazing dining, for just the fact that I can be immersed in a place where I'm relaxed. I don't have anything to worry about. Lots of options, all of which are good ones. And, you know, Scott and I have traveled to Europe. We've been to New York. We've been to Chicago. We've done so much traveling together. So it isn't like I feel like Disney is the best or the only place that couples can vacation. But if you only have 4 days and you're really looking for that trip where you can just kind of and just you know, cool your jets for a little while. I know that Disney wouldn't be top of a lot of people's lists for that, but we really love it. And if you want to be active, there's a million things to do. And if you want to do absolutely nothing, there is a great framework for you to do absolutely nothing. So that is how I would go about that trip, Sarah. I really hope you get to do this trip. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really hope that I get to do my grown-up Disney trip that Scott and I have planned. And fingers crossed is actually going to happen. So I hope you guys like this video. I will be doing another one of these next Friday, but it will be a whole new comment from one of you. Now, pro tip. I am going to be more likely to pick your comment if you haven't already chosen everything in advance. A lot of you, and I said I picked Sarah's comment randomly, and I did, but I kind of eliminated a couple before I chose hers because the people had commented like their dream trip and they already had everything figured out. So it was like, well, they don't need me to tell them what they should do on their trip. But Sarah's comment definitely left the door open for me to say, this is what I would recommend that you do. So you'll have a better chance of being picked if that's the way that you frame it. Thank you so much for being here. If you're still watching at this point, I'm assuming you liked this video. So if you would please give it a big thumbs up. And if you enjoy my videos, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, but only if this is a space where you really know you're going to want to come back for more. I'm so grateful for you guys. Congratulations to our winner, whoever that was, because future Jen knows, but I don't know. And I hope to see you back here next week. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're being really good to each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye.